Hello, welcome to another XAM talk. It's great to be here again.
Yeah,
It has been a bit because, Cam was doing a lot of essays.
yeah, school. That's funny because that's the topic today,
That
school.
is today's
You know?
topic.
Yeah,
Man, I tell you, I'm out of the school system, so, I guess I'm good.
yeah. That was a good choice. And let's first talk about why we even. Let's talk about the fact that you pretty much have to be in school to succeed in life, for the most part. I mean, not
Yeah.
always, but for the most part.
Yeah, getting off to right into it, really. I feel like the school system, I feel like the school system, like before college, is just to take you to college. It's not anything about real life, which is
Yeah,
a problem.
because what's crazy too is like I'm in college and I'm literally relearning everything that we learned like just last year.
Yeah, it's
It's crazy.
it really is. Now I don't have this college experience because I'm sitting here at home not having a single thing to do except YouTube and Twitch, which is still hard on the brain, but in a different
Right,
way.
it's hard being inside all the time.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, because it's not really hard to be inside. It's hard when you have nothing to do inside, you
Yeah.
know? And after a while, because you're sitting around all day, you have nothing to do. And that's what I like about school. There's always something to do, but also at the same time, it's stressful and it's stressful for no reason because, you know, I'm not sure what you were going to start off talking about. I don't know if I could bring this up.
You can bring
I
anything
was
up
going
you
to
want.
talk about how
It's an open platform.
you said what?
I said you can bring up anything you want. It's an open platform.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I was just going to say how basically we go to school to go to college to get a degree. But as we know, a degree doesn't guarantee a job.
Yeah.
And most times, because like me, I have to go to school for college for 4 years to actually get into my field. And most people, that's usually how it is. It's either four or more. And it's just crazy because I was just in school and I got to do 4 more years to get a job that I don't even know if I'll like. And that's just to get in the door, not to get a job that I want. It's crazy.
Yeah, my dad has that same type of like computer job or whatever, but I don't know if he went to college or not.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a certificate, but like,
Yeah.
um, it's just, it's really hard when you're so young. I feel like I mean, I guess I can't say too much because I don't have a certificate and I haven't tried to get a job with a certificate. But, um, I mean, I just feel like I have to get a degree just to be sure because if things don't work out, I feel like I'm not going to be able to advance. Like, I feel like the only way to advance and make a lot of money is you have to either get lucky and get with a really good company who cares about their employees, or you have to have connections. And if you don't have either of those, you're going to be stuck in the same position, especially if you just have a certificate.
Yeah, I mean, even who's been looking for jobs for almost a year, I don't have connections, so I'm not getting in
Right.
doors of really anywhere. And, I'm just by luck, I pick up some money here and there, but it's nothing big. And honestly, I don't know. I
Right,
don't
because
know.
like if you're being real, like you probably feel like a lot of stress too, because I know you have a dream,
Yeah.
but you might feel like, okay, because I don't have a degree, it'll stress you out even more because you don't have a degree, so you feel like if this doesn't work out, I don't have nothing to fall back on.
Yeah. Now,
So it's really hard.
I haven't mentioned this to you because I feel like me saying this will somehow would have somehow stressed you out. But I mean,
Hey,
it's the podcast, so whatever,
okay.
honestly. But sometimes, not often, but, maybe once or twice a month, I think about, did I mess up? I keep thinking, did I mess up by not going to college? Like, did I mess up?
Mm,
And this is all the school system, playing in exactly what
right.
they want. They want you to go to college. They want you to be in debt. They don't want you to succeed. But I don't know. Because schools are like,
Yeah, I
hey,
mean,
we want you to succeed, but not really. We just want you to go to
yeah,
college.
yeah. It's so. I mean, it's funny because I was just thinking about it, how you were saying you saw like videos about the school system and how it's basically a scam. But if you look up who kind of invented school, it's John something Rockefeller. And if you know, like one of his greatest quotes is something about um, basically he wants people to work. He just
Yeah.
feels like we should be a working society. So basically, the whole point of him developing school is just to keep us doing these laborious jobs.
I found who created the modern school system. By the way, this is in 1837. Almost
Yeah.
200 years ago. Horace Mann.
Horseman.
Horace Mann. That sounds like a fake name.
It really does. Sounds like a damn Minecraft skin.
Wow, a Minecraft skin. I mean, but really, we were in school from kindergarten to 12th grade, the regular school system. After that, it's college. I didn't go to preschool personally. I started in kindergarten. But, it's just like the whole entire time they're like, hey, college this, college that. That is all it is. When you are in 11th and 12th grade, all they do is try to talk to you about college. They don't care about anything else. That's all they want from you.
All right.
And, again, as a person who didn't want to go to college because college has nothing for me,
Exactly.
I think if I did go to college, I'd try to be a therapist or something. But I don't want to be a therapist. I want to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Which is not something I can do at college. And sure, there's a lot of wrestlers that have PhDs or bachelors in something. But that's just not for me. I've never considered myself a smart person. It is because the American school system has made me feel like I am not smart because
Yeah,
the
let's talk
classes
about that too,
they
because
require us to take.
oh my, yeah, dude. Like, I feel like a lot of people, especially if you're in like a merit class, because some people just have a hard time understanding more than others, and that doesn't really make you dumb. Like, I hope people know that doesn't make you dumb. Just because you can pick up a concept faster than someone else, that doesn't make you smarter than the people who can't. That just means you understand the concept better. But these same people could be the ones creating like the most. It's just like it's not what how their mind thinks, but their mind still thinks in a very concept or in a very interesting way. And these same people that you are, because I think Steve Jobs or whatever, I don't think he did that well in school. And there's many different, people who've made these huge companies who didn't do that well in school.
Yeah, there's a
And
lot
it's
of
all
successful
because,
people who dropped out.
yeah, they dropped out because they didn't feel like school was, doing anything for them. But, these people, they probably didn't quote unquote do well in school. And I mean, look at them. They're clearly very smart. I mean, they're able to make a business and make it grow, and they're able to create these really amazing concepts. And, it doesn't always determine how smart you are.
Yeah, like school just bothers me in that way, I mean, I don't know really how to explain it, but just every little thing that determines us succeeding in their eyes honestly just pisses me off. Like, there's no other way to, to really put it. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking up Steve Jobs right now because I'm trying to see what it
Yeah,
said.
'cause I'm trying to think, like, let's see how Elon Musk did in school.
Apparently, this says that he graduated, but I swear that Jobs dropped out.
Yeah, me too. Oh, wait.
Maybe I think of the wrong person.
Wait. So Musk has 2 bachelor degrees,
Huh.
and he did drop out of his PhD program. But
I can't imagine doing that much college to get a PhD. That just sounds like pure hell. I mean, honestly,
But
being in
what's the
school-
crazy thing too? He only got a bachelor's degree in physics, right? But you would think someone, and let's just talk about that, because there's some people who have a very they have no degrees, or they have like a very, what's the word for it? A very basic degree. And some people consider someone like a bachelor's degree in physics less smart than someone who has like a, whatever other degree, the highest degree in physics that you can get. But the truth of the matter is, look at Elon Musk. I bet you there's people who have higher degrees than them that aren't as smart and aren't, you know, because it's really all about passing and getting your work done. It's not necessarily about learning, and that's the biggest problem with school.
Yeah.
It's not about learning. It's about being the best. It's about scores. It's not about learning.
Okay. So let's talk about tests.
All right.
Testing. The number one way to determine whether you pass or fail. I failed my Spanish 2 class, which automatically made it so I didn't really have a shot at a regular college. So if I wanted to go to a big university, I couldn't. I would have to go to a community.
Because you didn't pass the language?
Yeah, because you have to get.
That's so
You have to
stupid.
do 2 years in a language.
Yo, that's dumb.
Yeah. Also, it's not only that. I'd also have to have passed Algebra 2.
Wow.
I never took Algebra 2. So, yeah. I actually think you can take Algebra 2 in college, but you still have to have the language thing.
Yo, I'm literally taking Algebra 2 in college. It's literally Algebra 2. Maybe I think it's Algebra 2 mixed in with like other stuff. But it's basically Algebra 2.
Yeah, required classes can just go to a special place in hell because it's just
I
so
agree
stupid.
100%.
Like, why
Like, yo,
do I gotta take a language if I just can't do it? My Spanish 2 teacher was horrible too. I made a diss track on her.
there isn't a single person. Did you make a diss track on?
I did not.
Wow. I think she's like the only one.
I did not
I
make
think everybody else got a diss track.
Yeah, I did not make a diss track on her, but she wasn't that bad in comparison
She's just a
to.
little bit annoying.
Yeah, in comparison to the teacher I made a diss track on, Joe. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Joe. I can say your first name because, yeah, Joe. Joe's a woman. Joe,
Joe who?
beat you up, Joe.
Mo?
That's a joke. Just name dropping Joe.
Joe. I don't think I mean, literally the only Spanish teacher I know is Miss. That's the only one I remember.
I don't even know who that is.
Don't know Miss.
No, I do not know.
She's actually still works at our school. She went from middle school to our high school.
That's interesting. I've never heard of her.
Yeah, but
I took Spanish 1 twice, even though I passed it the first time. So it made no sense. It's just this pressure. Like, they pressure you just to succeed for your letter grade, just to determine how smart you are. Like, I think I walked out of high school with like a 2.9 GPA or something.
yo, literally, I have way better grades in college, and they always say college is going to be harder, which is true. But see, I bring this up because I didn't do well in high school, and I'm doing way better in college. And I think that's because with this whole COVID thing, we get to learn at our own pace. And because I'm doing that, like the way I'm learning in the way that I want to, that's why I'm doing a lot better compared to school where they force you to learn a certain way. They force you to, sit down in a class where you're around people you don't necessarily like, or you're with teachers that you don't like. And I also was able to pick my teachers, which was good, but I was able to pick my teachers in college, but yeah. I wish you were able to pick your teachers in high school and middle school and all that stuff, because that would have made a difference, I think.
Also, another thing, again, I'm not in college, but I know that they treat you more like you're a peer, not like...
You're right.
Not
They
like
do.
somebody lower than you. Because in high school, middle school, elementary school, you get all these teachers thinking, hey, we're above you. You're on the ground. I am on the roof. All right? You
Right.
mean nothing to me. I'm just here for the paycheck. College, we're equals. That's how that works out.
Literally.
Like, I feel like these teachers, they just pick anybody. And that's also another problem. Anybody can be a teacher. Anybody
So
can
true.
be a teacher.
So true.
There's so many bad stories about teachers. just in general. I can't think
You know
of.
why? They don't focus on like. See, I don't even know how to explain this, but it's like there's things that make someone good for a position. Like just because you don't have like a certain degree or whatever, you could still be a great teacher. Like, or you could be like a great you could be great at science and not have a degree in science. You know, it doesn't. I feel like it just comes down to what it's all about their mind. And if
Yeah,
people were able to shape their own minds and not be forced to be a certain way, I feel like we'd have a world that works a lot better. But a lot of people are forced into jobs they don't even want to work.
yeah. Like school strips you of who you are, and there's like, hey, you got to be in this mold,
All right.
and it's just annoying. Why don't they? Why don't they try to get you to be your own person? To say, hey, you got to be this person because we say so. And you know, there's a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids who don't see a problem with it, and all of them are rich, and all of them are
Yes.
white. That is how that works. I almost said I'm none of those things, but I indeed am a white person.
Yeah.
But I'm not rich. All right. I know what the school system is doing. They have never done anything for me, and that's the way it is. You know, it's a really painful system, and I wish more parents would stand up to this system and realize, hey, this school system, it is just entirely wrong. You know, I mean, we're
Definitely.
talking. It's the same as it was since when was that? The 1800s, and there's so much different since then. There's
Right.
so
Like,
much different. I mean, we're talking. They didn't even teach, you know, the same or all the races together.
yeah.
Like it's still that same way. They haven't changed. All it changes is that they can be together. But like, I mean, come on. Besides that, school hasn't changed.
Yeah. Schools like they follow the same. I mean, I'll be fair, right? There are times like we are able to pick our classes, but another thing is I feel like if we were allowed to focus, if we spent more time trying to like shape who a person was, like let's say, so you want to be a wrestler, right?
Yep.
So obviously focusing on math and reading is important. I feel like that'll always be important. Reading and being able to form a sentence, obviously that's important, but you don't need literally 12 straight years or starts maybe in about what, fourth, fifth grade, actually, third, second, English. You don't need a whole 8 years of English to prosper as a wrestler, you know?
Yeah.
And, for me, if I want to do computer stuff, I don't need a whole 8 years either of math and English. I mean,
Honestly,
I need math and English, but I don't need years on years of that. I should probably spend more time because I don't even like my computer skills. They went down a lot since I was younger, and that's because when I was younger, I had more free time to do things outside of school. But now I have to get a job and you know go to college, and it's just there's less time to focus on your dream, and that's the problem.
yeah. I feel like in sixth grade might be too early, but also in some aspects it's kind of too late.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
in sixth grade, they should be like, hey, what do you want to do with your future? What's the job you want to have? You tell them what it is, and if it changes, you can change what your
All
path
right,
is. But you tell them what you want to do, and then they give you classes that will help you build that skill. That is how
exactly,
that is how school should be. Now, if I
exactly.
told them in sixth grade I wanted to be a wrestler, which I didn't want to be a wrestler in sixth grade. I wanted to be a football player. But I changed
Right,
my
bro. I
mind in
wanted to be a
about
doctor for the longest.
eighth.
Like, no, I don't, but you know,
Yeah. Um. I mean, yeah. Like, for example, you're in sixth grade. You say, they ask you what you want to do. Like, hey, I want to be a doctor. So they give you courses that can help with that. It's just the thing is, how could you feel? Or this is, I guess, this is what they would be thinking. How could you fill up a whole entire school day with that?
mm,
That
that's the thing.
yeah,
They don't. They don't, and that's another thing. I feel like school is also just it's 6 hours of just learning about the same. Because what gets me too is how long it takes them to teach a subject about something. Like, why are we really sat there and would read a book for months.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's crazy to me. I don't. Why are we studying this book?
yes. Why are we studying this book? Which brings me up to a very, very great thing. You mentioned to me via text message maybe a week ago that you wanted to go off on this one teacher that we had as our English teacher.
Oh yeah.
So the floor is yours, pal.
I don't remember. Oh yeah. What was her name? We both had her.
I don't remember.
Miss
What was it?
Miss C. Some I know it had a C in it.
Did it?
Miss Cat. No, I was thinking of the gym teacher.
This was
I have no idea.
senior year. What was her name? Wow, she's really that.
I don't remember any of my.
She was that unimportant that we can't remember.
Actually, no, I do remember that one English teacher. But that's it. And I actually did well in her class. But the ones that I hated, I just don't remember their name.
I never had her.
You never had?
No. She was in the middle school, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our 12th grade English teacher.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
I don't know if anybody knows what literacy circles are that are watching this, but it's typically something you do in elementary school. And I haven't done it since 5th grade until 12th grade. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. I hated her. Like, she treated us.
Yo.
She treated us like we were elementary school kids. I'm a senior. I was like, what? Why am I in this
really
class?
sat there reading books together. Like, and
terrible.
We would have to, like, draw pictures. You know, we were given these, like, tasks. Like, it was exactly how it was back in 5th grade. We would have, like, these tasks assigned to each one of us that we would have to do, and it was our homework to do it, and we'd come back and share the answers or whatever we did. And
yeah, had different roles. Did you do any of that work?
It's just weird. Why are we doing that?
Yeah.
What is the point of literature circles? What is the point of studying this book? What is the point of teaching us this history that's not even true?
11th grade was my only good English class.
Why is that?
Teacher is just really, really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I had a nice teacher in 12th grade, but
we also read good books.
Oh, you did? What books
I can't remember a single title, but we read good books.
Yo, but also, I don't know if you were this way as a kid, but I used to love to read as a kid.
I still like to read. If it's not for a class, I'll read because I'm reading on my own time.
Do you have a book that you read right now?
I've read in a while because, you know, I just keep forgetting and get sucked into watching Daredevil on Netflix. A good show, by the way. Just finished it today, actually. What was it called? Lost Causes of Bleak Creek or something. I think I actually told you about this or somewhat. I'm also writing a book right now, so that's also interesting. I've been writing it for an entire year. It's probably going to take 2 to 3 more to be complete because I'm a perfectionist. And I'm also really, really unfocused because, you know,
other distractions. Yeah,
I can only write the book if it's just my mom and my sister home. Anybody else, I'm entirely distracted. I just can't.
Dang.
And I honestly always forget to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you probably like. I mean, I don't know. It's probably different for you. I know for me though, like if I'm working on something, I'll just like if I lose focus for like a day, then I usually like end up just not doing it for like a whole month, and then I'll come back because I'll remember it. I
do that way too much. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I consider myself a creative person because, you know, if I want something out there, I'm going to put it out there in one way or another.
It's good.
Like, I care about the book so much because it's what high school really is. That is like the book. It's actually perfect to talk about on this podcast, actually.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, the book I'm writing it's currently called The High School Sacrifice Could Be Changed. I'm not entirely sure if I'll change it or not, but I might. But it's the title I've been working with for about 9 months. The original title was called My High School Sacrifice, but based on how the narration goes, that doesn't sound like it would work because it's not first person. The fact I know first and third person, I mean, it shows I learned something in English. But yeah, it's what high school really is. You know, I cut out all the teachers teaching things. So I'm like, nobody cares about that shit. I never did.
Facts.
It's student interactions, home, how it is at home, how it is when you're talking to friends, and that's how it goes. I mean, sure, you know, you don't see, here's an example from the book. You know, you don't see people that are, you know, coming after you when they would get hung by somebody. You know, that's not a thing you see typically, but it can happen, and it's a sad fact. You know, there's a lot of drug use in it, mentions of suicide, mentions of rape. I know that's a hard topic to talk about, but nobody talks about men getting raped.
Bro, that really does need to be talked about.
Yeah, that can be saved for another one of these, but that's a deep topic.
It really
you know,
is.
Women drug men all the time, and that is something that happens in the book.
And they get away with it a lot more.
Yeah, because it's just nobody thinks of it. Like nobody thinks that's a thing that can happen.
It's crazy to think that there's celebrities like women that have gotten exposed. I think we talked about a little bit of this in the second or
Didn't
first
Cardi B
podcast.
do it or something?
With Johnny Depp.
No, that's a different situation. I was talking about Cardi B.
No, but I was just saying, like,
Oh yeah, okay.
in terms of like them doing things that are terrible, they get away with it.
Yeah. Johnny Depp's wife beat him, or ex-wife now, beat him and then shit in his bed. Yeah.
I just can't take that second part seriously. It doesn't even sound real, but
it's true.
Yeah. But I don't really know. I mean, we probably shouldn't talk about this too much because it'd take up time. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back on track for the last couple minutes. All right, the school system. You know, we've covered a lot today. We've covered a lot of reasons why it's bad. If you're a parent at home, I want you to hear this. All right, the school system is brainwashing your kid. You should probably
100%.
you know try to help them be their own person. You know, whether it means giving them more space or giving them less space, that's something you need to do. Also, mental health really deteriorates through school because you're just doing the same thing every single day. I mean, I guess it's kind of like a job, but at least in a job you get paid.
But I think another thing that needs to be talked about, right, is I feel like there'd be a lot of people who would be struggling with mental health a lot less if they didn't have to experience what happened in school or what happens in school. You know, because you have the stress from grades, you have the stress from your peers, because you either feel like you don't fit in or you deal with like bullying or something. And then like there's people that go through traumatic experiences. Like there's people that get raped in school, they get beat up in school, stuff like that. And I don't know if you've seen the show Degrassi.
I don't think I have, no.
I think that show is probably like the closest to what high school actually is that you'll probably see. Because, you know, we have shows like, what's another show that's all based around? I mean, a lot of TV shows are
Euphoria?
like based in high school, but that's not actually what it's like.
Is it Euphoria? Has Zendaya in it?
Degrassi?
No, I was talking about Euphoria. It's another show kind of like that.
Oh,
Has Zendaya
yeah.
in it.
I do think Euphoria is actually realistic.
Yeah. It's kind of what, again, the feel I kind of wondered for the book. It's really hard to get that feeling. It's hard to grasp, you know, the realness and the grittiness of that. But, yeah. Wow.
Oh, no. I mean, and I think 13's reason. I mean, what do you think about 13 Reasons Why? I mean, I think it's a little, like, excessive. But I also think it is kind of.
I think it's close. It's closer than a lot of, at least the first season. The first season is pretty realistic, but it's also kind of not at the same time because who is going to make 13 tapes?
Right. And who gets that upset over that, you know?
I feel like the book is, I haven't read the book, but I I've read parts of it. The book is entirely different, and it's more realistic. Because in the book, she doesn't actually die.
Oh, what happens?
She takes pills and goes into a coma.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, I think that makes more sense. I mean, but and one thing I didn't even realize is I didn't know that if you slit your wrist, you can die from that. I just, because you hear about that with self harm all the time, but you don't realize that that can actually kill you.
This is a rather deep topic to go on a
Yeah,
a podcast about the school system.
yeah,
Man,
it's
this is
just
derailed. I was
because
just a
I don't know. I feel like there's like so much. I feel like there's a lot we didn't cover too.
School
Or we
impacts
could-
mental health so much. It's insane.
exactly.
And that's why I think that you should always be counseled in school by a counselor, they check up on your mental health like a therapist at least once a month, if not twice. That would help kids so much. And I
Yeah,
get
because
it.
some people can't even like access therapy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, me,
Yeah.
honestly, I can't because nobody here believes in it. I've needed it since like what, 8th grade, which is 5 years ago. But I'll get through it, right?
Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
not.
you've been
I'll
doing a
never
pretty
get
good
past it.
job, I think.
It's a podcast. That's a podcast secret I just spilled right there.
Wait, what'd you
Nobody
say?
will know.
I didn't even hear it.
Oh, I was making a joke that said that was saying I'll never get past it.
Oh,
It was just a joke though.
yeah, drugs. That's a good
Drugs?
podcast.
Yeah. Let's take some crack right now. Right now on the pod. Right now. Anyway, what I was gonna say before we wrap things up here, which will be in about 2 minutes. These are the things I think that the school system should do. I already mentioned. I mentioned how in 6th grade that they should be like, hey, what do you want to do after all your schooling, like after high school, and be like, okay, I want to do this or this. They give you the classes that will help you get there. They don't give you algebra. They don't give you calculus. Luckily, I never had to take calculus. I would have just thrown myself through a
Geometry,
window.
that math topic pisses me off, bro.
I never took an AP class. Luckily, that would have been.
That's a
would've been
scam.
You'll pay $95 for that test. I mean, do I look like
Right.
I'm made of money? Like, you got all these kids, and you know all of them. You know who all the rich people were in our grade. You could tell by looking at them, But
Yeah.
they're all in all these AP classes, and they take 4 AP classes a day. That's how much is that? Near $500 just for those tests. Do 4 times.
And just that's probably just for the test. Like, imagine the material you have to pay for in the class.
$380 if you take 4 AP classes. And if you take
Bro.
8 a year, I'm not even gonna bother doing the math on that one. That's just an atrocity right there. That's what it is.
And what do you need math for when we got, people who, and I don't want to get too deep into this, but I think, we have so much technology in this world and we're not even using it. Like, we can all like really be starting businesses and like using our minds to think of new ideas, but we spend so much time just not being able to be creative enough that we just invest in other people's ideas and just use it, and then we end up in like a standstill for the longest time until there's that one person who decides to drop out of school and spend all their time making this crazy product, and it helps the world in a great way. Like, that's how we have all the technology we have today. That one person just,
Honestly.
yeah.
I mean, besides me, and not to get big headed, but who else besides me from our school, really tried to do something? Like, besides school,
Shoot, I don't know. Like,
Because-
you're the first person I've actually talked to. I mean, the closest thing that I probably heard is a rapper. That's literally it.
Yeah. I mean, besides them, and rapping
Yeah.
is such a cliche these days. Who isn't a rapper,
Facts.
I can't
literally, who
guarantee
isn't?
any of them are going to make it. I can't
Yeah,
guarantee I'm
you
going to
bring up
make
a
it.
very good point, because you make music. Obviously, someone's gonna like it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
honestly, well, apparently it hasn't been for me, but apparently it's much easier to, like, I could blow up on YouTube 10 times as fast as somebody could blow up as a rapper. I just haven't done it.
It's true.
I just haven't done it. And honestly, if this is why you got to take risks, not bad risks, like a risk like this.
Yeah.
It's to shape who you are. If I never ever did YouTube, I don't know who I would be.
Right, like imagine if you didn't feed into like these outlets that you want, like, you know,
This.
let's say you didn't.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So I was just gonna say, like, for me, I wanted to skateboard when I was younger. I wanted to be like a professional skateboarder. One of the many things I wanted to do, and so I tried it. Now imagine if I didn't try it. You know, I'd always be wondering what would happen if, or how do I feel about this? But once you try it, that's how you know, and that's how you kind of build your experiences and figure out who you want to be.
I mean, if I never did YouTube, I don't even know if I'd be here. Like, this has been such a big coping mechanism, and I planned on stopping last year, but I didn't stop because I'm like, I have so much I can still do, and I mean, eventually around 2016, I'm like, I'm not doing this for myself anymore. I'm doing this for other people. About the end of the year, maybe beginning of 2017, I'm like, I'm not doing this for myself anymore. I'm doing this for other people that felt or feel how I feel, can feel something good. And I want that to be my impact on the world, is I want to do good for other people. Because I know how bad it feels, with all the mental health issues that I probably have. I've not been officially diagnosed, but I say I have these things because I truly believe that I do. So,
and I believe it, dude.
Yeah, I just want people to feel better. And honestly, if school was just a little bit better, they make those changes that I mentioned earlier, people would not be so bad on it.
So many people who don't know what they want to do with their lives.
Yep. That's true, and it's just school's fault. The system needs to burn. Not literally, do not set any schools on fire. If you hear this, Please don't. Please do not do that. But do release diss tracks on your teachers. That is all I have to say. Very good podcast, I must say. Got a lot out in the open. I don't know what next episode is going to be on. I have to take a big think about that.
What was it? Oh, we weren't doing that one. I was excited for that one, but
wait, which one?
The one about drugs.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know enough about drugs to confidently do one about drugs.
I actually don't either, but like I feel like we should talk about
maybe
the good things about it and why people do it.
Yeah.
And
we'll see. We'll see what happens. I might have an interview planned for next week. 2 weeks in a row this podcast is going to be, hopefully, because I want to get 3 videos out this year. And this is one of the 3. The other one will be another one of the 3. And then I got the highlights of 2020. Thank you, everybody, for listening / watching. This has been a great podcast. And we will see you next week. Bye.
All right.